What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Ria and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday.
Woo, basically Friday.
Yeah, basically Friday. And this is a very, very important message, guys. Black Friday is right around the corner.
It's here.
But it's already here.
Yeah, it's been here.
We are coming to you with a Black Friday deal before Black Friday hits with Macy's. It's the best deals of the season and the best shopping day of the season. You can get 40% off classic Levi's. You can get 30 to 50% off your favorite brands, 20 to 60% off toys. Maybe you have some kiddies you need to shop for. Macy's has you covered with all things from beauty products to clothes to toys. Macy's has you covered. And there is so much more from now until November 30th. And best of all, you can get it shipped for free with any purchase of $25 or more. And remember, stores are closed Thanksgiving Day. So shop every Black Friday deal on Macy's.com. Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody.
Yay. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
We are right around the corner to Thanksgiving, and that means we are right around the corner.
Right around the corner. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, literally. It's literally, we are turning the corner into Thanksgiving tomorrow. And that means mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes. Ooh, mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes. Yeah, potatoes. Potatoes.
Yum. Can't wait.
Can't wait. I mean, here's the thing. Mashed potatoes, you really can get them any time of the year.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the whole
It's
shebang.
the combo.
It's the combo.
It's when it hits the plate with all the other things.
With all the
it
sides.
elevates the potatoes.
Yeah, I'm hitting the stuffed mushrooms, running them back this year again. I'm making mini chicken pot pies,
Yum.
running that back. A little, I'm going to do a little brie apple, Mike's Hot Honey, little crostini.
Delicious.
I'm really going to fucking hit it hard this year. Hit the ground running with some apps.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm just excited for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that sounds so nice. I'm going to be waking up in my apartment on Thanksgiving morning for like the first time ever.
Really?
I feel like a real adult.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Thanksgiving happening
Married
this year?
now, the whole thing. It's in New Jersey, at my aunt's.
Right.
But obviously, like, my parents don't. They're in Florida, so they are coming up here, but they're staying at a hotel.
Nice.
So like, we're gonna go out there Thanksgiving afternoon. But Joe and I were like, wow, like Wednesday, we were joking. We're like, you just go to our normal bar, like
go to your local bar.
Yeah, you know where we're headed.
Yeah, you gotta.
And we'll just go, and we're like, yeah, that's just what we're gonna do. Be in New York City. It'll be lovely. We'll get some bagels, maybe some mimosas. We'll watch the parade.
Oh, that sounds like such a lovely.
I know, it'll be nice.
Thanksgiving morning.
Yep.
That sounds lovely.
It'll be beautiful. And then the dog show is on, which is my favorite.
That's the best. That's the best.
I love. Although I will say nothing is better when you're like, when you are cuddled up on your couch and you don't have to see people for a little bit longer and you can really hold on to like that hangover you have and enjoy the dog show. Maybe you got a fire going.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it sounds so cozy. Sounds like a beautifully cozy Thursday morning.
I know, right? But yeah, Thanksgiving Eve is a big celebration as well for all who celebrate good luck and have fun and be smart and don't hook up with your ex-boyfriend from high school.
So true.
I think I've graduated from Thanksgiving Eve.
I was just gonna say,
but, there's plenty of listeners out there that are looking forward to Thanksgiving Eve. It's a holiday in itself, and for you, I say have fun.
Right. Good luck out there, soldiers.
Exactly.
Have yourself a good night.
Exactly.
A safe night,
Yep.
and beware. Beware of the creepy crawlers of the night coming to you on
Ghosts
Thanksgiving
of
Eve.
Thanksgiving past.
Right. That's exactly what it is. But yeah, no, I'm tapped out on Thanksgiving Eve. I'm going to dinner with my best friends from high school. It's like
That's the perfect way to acknowledge Thanksgiving Eve now,
Right. We're going to go to dinner. We're going to have a great dinner with our significant others. We're going to eat amazing Italian food, drink some good wine, get to bed at a reasonable hour, wake up with maybe a mild hangover from the wine, but not too bad.
Light tingle from the red wine.
Right. Maybe just a little headache that I just pop a little Advil or Tylenol and get on my way with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
But I won't be hurting. I will not be hurting, but I'm very excited to see my friends and just have a lovely dinner. That's the way to go for me. That's the way to go for me now. It's like we're not going to the bar.
No.
We are not going to the bar.
No. I haven't. It's been years, not years, but like
It's been years.
Just once you move out of your hometown, it's just you're just not there. As the tear slowly drips out of the corner of my eye,
Yeah, well, I never had that like hometown.
I feel like that could be a country song.
It could.
solely based on
Thanksgiving Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve, and you leave in your hometown and you don't get to see your friends.
Right. Well, I never had that hometown-y bar vibe because going to Catholic school, everybody's from a different town.
Yeah. But you didn't pick like your town. You didn't like.
There was a town.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
there was multiple towns.
Right.
With multiple bars.
Yeah.
And there was a point where it was like, all right, who's going to this town? Who's going to that town? Like,
Yeah, right,
you had to find which
You had to
town you were
pick
going
one.
to.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just like my hometown bar. You know, I'm sure
That's fair.
I'm sure, you know, the public school kids in my hometown have their place that they go to.
Yeah. I'm sure they do.
Right.
I'm sure they do. And yeah, then it's Thanksgiving, and taking a little break. We'll be back next week on Monday. I have this is going to be a wild ride just for my family, but I have my great aunt's 100th birthday party.
Holy shit.
On Saturday.
That's insane.
100 years old. It is so impressive. My grandmother, Mima, who I've mentioned many a times, is the youngest of 12 children.
That's insane.
Cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah,
right.
Correct. 12 children. Many of them are no longer with us, but there are a few that are kicking and they are doing great. And Aunt Angie is turning 100.
Shout out to Aunt Angie.
I know.
For still kicking it at 100 years old.
So we're all
Does
going
she
to
say,
be...
I'm 100 or I'm 100? You know, like how do you, when you turn 100, how old are you? I'm 100.
100 years old.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Is Aunt Angie still like spry?
Oh, yeah.
Like she's still there?
That's not what
Totally.
I thought you were going to ask.
What do you think I was going
You
to
said
ask?
personal. I don't know.
No, I just I don't, you know, if
No,
Aunt
it's-
Angie's like
right.
being wheeled around
No,
and she's
it's
barely
100.
awake.
She's like,
You know
yeah,
what I
no,
mean? Like, I want to know if she's like.
It's not
I
a
thought you were
weekend.
gonna-
It's not a weekend at Bernie's
Yeah,
situation.
that's what I was wondering. I was like, is Aunt Angie there?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask if she was active. And
She may mix up me.
My brain didn't even
Noah.
cross that avenue. You sick puppy.
She confuses me and Gia sometimes, but you know that's pretty good.
That's pretty good for 100.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good for 100.
Exactly. I can't wait. She's probably gonna try and kiss Joe on the lips. It's just
That's
like,
100 for you.
She's probably gonna kiss all of us on the lips.
Any
honestly.
smooches you can get at 100.
Yeah. She was kissing us all on the lips when she was not 100. So
Right. That's just Aunt Angie's way of showing warmth.
Exactly. Everybody's been kissed on the lips by Aunt Angie, really.
I have a question. I keep saying that and they're not that crazy questions. But like when you reach 100 years old, is there any part of you, and I guess this is a question for Aunt Angie and not you, but is there any part of you that's like, let me try something I've never done before because I've made it this far?
I could see that.
Like heroin.
Okay, maybe not hard drugs.
Like do you think Aunt Angie's like,
maybe not
I
hard
want to
drugs.
try
I don't
something
think so.
like that?
I was gonna go with like, you know, some sort of hobby that she's never done.
Well, we
but-
can't send Aunt Angie skydiving.
Yeah, no.
That won't.
No.
She won't make it to 101.
No. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously with a grandmother that has 12, is part of a family of 12. My mom has a ton of cousins. I have a ton of second cousins. A lot of them that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. So it should be a lot of fun.
Well, that's quite amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like such a fun.
A big fat Italian family.
Right. That's insane.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you had that many. Because I feel like.
There's almost too many.
Right. It's like you cut all them off because there's too many.
There's just
of them.
too many. There's too many. Yeah.
That's crazy. Is both Mima's parents Italian?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're the ones that came from Italy. Her parents.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's the full Sicilian side.
Mm-hmm.
Is her side. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
12 kids.
Yes, they were busy.
Yeah. Like her oldest sister, I'm gonna get the math wrong. She'll be mad at me, but like, there's maybe 20 years. Like I think like when Mima was born, her oldest sister was like 19, 20 years old.
With the big Italian families like that, like Nonno and his siblings, like some of them are really close together.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there wasn't a lot of time in between, and then some are really far apart.
So Mima and her next sister, like that she's closest in age to. super, super close. We were always really, really close with them and their family. So it's just like, it trickles down. Like the older siblings were obviously closer. It was a bigger gap. It's just 12 kids. It's a lot.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It's a lot. And then everybody has kids and then they all have kids. So now we're at it's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. That is a lot to keep up with.
So yeah, so it'll be a big, beautiful affair on Saturday.
Celebrate Aunt Angie.
I know.
I have a hole in my armpit.
You do, but that's you know it's there.
I did, but when I did a little celebrating,
when you did that, you were
I
like,
felt the breeze.
Yeah, right. You felt a little wind.
Right, that one was for Aunt Angie.
Yep.
So happy birthday. That really is incredible. Though.
I know.
Like seriously, so impressive, so incredible. Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
Really, at that point, it becomes a congratulations.
Totally.
But yeah, it's just a classic Thanksgiving week. We don't have an episode on Friday. We will be back on Monday. We have a good episode coming up. Kelley Flanagan joined us. She talked about her situation with her ex-boyfriend. She shared just a tiny bit online, but she came and told her full story. And we have a great game of trivia.
Yeah, definitely a little more emotional, more serious, but she's been through a lot. So if you are somebody that has dealt with cheating, emotional manipulation, just like really some ego maniac type of behavior. She got to tell her story, which I think was really great. And hopefully she feels good about it.
Yes, I agree with that. Next week, we are headed to Boston and, our Boston show is sold out. Very excited for that one. But for all the listeners that are from Boston and maybe don't have tickets to the show, or maybe you do have tickets to the show, we are having an event at the Clock Tavern in Boston. It's a Rum Haven event from 6 to 8 p.m. Maybe we'll hang a little longer. We'll be drinking, hanging out.
Drink some little fall cocktails with us.
Delicious cocktails, drinking, hanging out, taking pictures, having fun. You do not need a ticket for that. That's just like a show up and hang out situation. So we're so excited to see you guys there.
My sister lives like right by there because I told her about it. And she was like, "Oh my God, bring Ria and Fran to my apartment. I want them to see my apartment." And I was like,
tour.
"What?"
I'd love to see her.
Yeah, so would I. Oh my God, so welcoming. But yeah, we'll be there. So come hang out. It's going to be a blast. And then we'll see everybody at the show on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're so excited to wrap up the year. It's always, the holiday show is just always so much fun. And it's a great way to put a stamp on the year. And we're probably going to talk about it 9 million times. Between now and our last episode before Christmas break and New Year and everything, but it was just such an amazing year. So we're really excited to celebrate with everybody in Boston.
Totally agree. Seriously, a fucking fantastic year.
Yeah.
And we have our listeners to thank for that, truly. So many great experiences have come from this show, and we wouldn't be able to do it without all the people who support us and listen to the show. So thank you guys so much. And it's been incredible. I can't wait for next week.
Totally.
Before we get into the rest of the show, though, we do have to talk about a big thing that's happening.
Huge.
Big thing. Vanderpump Rules being totally recasted. They've put the kibosh on this cast. No longer we're recasting Vanderpump.
And you know what? It's time. It was the right move. It's time. It's bittersweet for sure. And all the cast members, they're posting like their old montages, old pictures. It's crazy how much they've been through and how much time has passed from when they started the show to where they are now. But they are going to be recasting the whole show. They're going to keep Vanderpump Rules, but it's getting like the Real Housewives of New York treatment, where they're all done and they're just going to go get a new group of friends that work at SUR, and the show is going to move on and be about them. And you know what? Like they had their time. It was amazing. I'm sure it's super tough for them because it's a job, right? Like just financially, like it's a job. But at the same time, it probably is going to feel good to move on, I would think.
I agree. Ultimately, you're right. It is a job for them. So this is sort of like them losing their job,
right?
Which I don't think a lot of them wanted to happen. And I'm sure some of them did want to happen.
Yeah.
I think Ariana has clearly been thriving with so
There will
many.
be a few of them that are certainly going to be calling up the valley.
Right, for sure. But Ariana has been thriving with so many different opportunities coming her way, and I can imagine in her eyes, yes, it's bittersweet that Vanderpump is ending and has brought so much to her life. But
She's a Broadway star.
she has so much going on right now, and the others will also have other opportunities come their way with this wrapping up.
Double whammy day of yesterday. They announced that they're closing Schwartz and Sandy's, and today the show's over.
Yeah, it's like
Tough,
womp womp.
Tough one for Tom and Tom.
Yeah, womp
one for Tom and
womp. But sometimes you reap what you sow. Some might say.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, Schwartz and Sandy's never had a chance. It just really never had a chance. Like that's just all the drama opening, all that, like the timing of it all just never really worked. I think it kind of hurt them that they weren't really geographically like located near the other ones, because I feel like that helps. Or it's like, oh, we're gonna do it like a little Vanderpump bar crawl almost.
Yeah.
And so like posted a whole long message about that ending, and now at the end of Vanderpump, and well, the end of these people on Vanderpump, but it's
better this way than everybody continuing to watch and going, why are these people still on this show? Why is this still going on? They need to revamp,
Yeah. And what's only playing in my head is the slowed down version of the theme song that played at the end of the last season, when it was like, oh, it does feel like maybe it's all coming to an end.
Right. Well, ultimately, smart choice by them.
Yeah.
Because now that it is ending with this cast, they got that slowed down dramatic version of maybe the show's ending.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's a wrap on this Vanderpump Rules. But
oh, you know what else I wanted to say? Do you see that Hugh Grant tweet about Luann?
No.
Hugh Grant tweeted.
I didn't see it.
Oh my God, he tweeted. He said it never happened.
What?
Well, he doesn't remember.
He said her
happening.
memory might be better than his.
Yeah.
Hey.
Which honestly, it probably is.
I would maybe imagine that it did happen.
If he's saying that, I'm like, yeah, he probably
I would
drunkenly
think
makes out with
that-
the top people.
I would think that Luann would remember making out with Hugh Grant, but Hugh Grant wouldn't necessarily remember making out with Luann.
I agree.
He tweeted the headline and he said, steady on. I do remember meeting a charming RHNY in a restaurant, but I'd like to stress it was about 15 years ago. I don't recall shots or kissing, but her memory might be better than mine. So I'm going to live in the world where this story did happen.
And he did call her charming.
He did.
So maybe he got to the point where he had a little too much and doesn't recall.
Right. It wouldn't be the first time.
No, and you know what? The fact that he even tweeted makes me. I'm like,
rekindling. Oh no, is he married?
No, he's married.
He's
Yeah.
married.
No, the tweet could be like, ah, shit, my wife's gonna kill me. I should
Clear
post
this up. This is 15 years
that
ago.
it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, because we were wondering the timeline. But
We were.
thanks for the clear up, Hugh. I'm still going to choose to believe Luann on this one.
Absolutely. I will still have a vision of Luann leaping across a table at Pierre's in the Hamptons just to smack one on him.
Yeah, and a button flying across the room from Hugh's button down. His chest opening up.
Yep.
You made the Wicked director cry as well.
That did happen. So John M. Chu shared one of our videos onto his story and
So
said now
nice.
he's crying, all these emojis, and Ariana Grande liked the
Ariana
video.
Grande liked the video too.
And you know what? I'm so glad they're seeing the recognition they deserve.
Talking about 100, that clip, like I'm gonna have goosebumps thinking about it right now. But Ariana Grande just going to a movie theater in Boca Raton with her Nona, who is just turned 99.
Insane.
And going to see that movie, like, I have chills just thinking about it. Just holding her hand, so sweet.
So
What a
sweet.
moment. What a full circle moment. Somebody tweeted like, this woman was a teenager when The Wizard of Oz came out.
Crazy. Imagine watching your granddaughter be able to fulfill her biggest dream.
It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I have really I like hairs on like
yeah.
just so sweet.
It makes me miss my
Imagine
grandma.
Imagine you're just in like the movie theater in Florida and they just you're like, oh my God.
Right, you're watching.
There are other people in the theater.
You're watching the movie with Ariana Grande.
I know.
I'd be
be like
I'd be
that.
turning back, being like,
Oh my God, I clap harder than I've never clapped
"You nailed
before.
that one."
Yeah.
It would be like that Buffalo bartender who was like, you know who you look like?
Yeah.
You look like Ariana Grande.
She's in that little movie,
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah. You look like that girl that's playing that witch in that movie.
Oh my gosh, too funny. But so excited that they got to see the video of us talking about it because I'm like,
God, I'm just elated.
yeah.
Oh, truly all I want to do is like watch that movie every single day, and maybe I'll go see it again this weekend, but maybe I'll also wear my brand new hat. If you guys are watching, you could see we have some new Chicks in the Office hats. They're amazing. I think they're super cute, super comfy. I have an Eagles hat that's like this that I love, and so we used the 47 hat. They're great. And we have some bridal merchandise as well for Black Friday. We're in our, bridal era. I just got married. Ria's getting married. So we have these really cute little makeup toiletry bags, these slippers that I'm wearing as well. They say save the date, and little hoodie zip ups that say save the date as well. We thought it was super cute way to kind of acknowledge like the bridal stuff that we haven't fully seen, like the use of save the date in this way. So super cute. We have a couple of clock clips as well, so you can shop everything during the Barstool Black Friday sale, which is going to be huge. Make sure you are shopping store.barstoolsports.com starting Black Friday for everything. Massive sales, ugly sweaters, whatever you need, gifts for the guys in your life, gifts for the gals in your life. You can shop there as well. And so make sure you guys are getting your hats. We love them, and I think everybody should have one.
Well, it's time to get into the rest of the episode.
Let's do it.
Let's get into the rest of the episode, shall we? Huge sale going on right now at Abercrombie. Do not miss out. You can get 25% off everything at Abercrombie. It's their best sale of the year, and new products drop exclusively for this sale. So get it before it sells out, and use code. We have a code, everybody.
Yeah,
we have a code.
do.
Use code
Listen up.
AFChicks. Use code AFChicks to get an additional 15% off at checkout from November 25th to December 2nd. Once again, AFChicks.
This offer fit is Abercrombie.
Oh, love. Absolutely
you.
love. Offer valid
Besides
in
my
U.S.
slippers.
and Canada. Exclusions apply. You can see the details online. So once again, use code AFChicks to get that additional 15% off. So you're already having a sale, and then you add that 15% off on top, and you guys got yourself a great deal. So do not miss out. All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by Kelley Flanagan. Welcome back to the show, Kelley. It's been quite some time. It's been years since we've had you on. And the last time you came on, we talked a little bit about your relationships, and we are here to do the same thing.
I know. I was thinking, like, honestly, last time that whole situation like kind of went viral, and now we're back here talking about another crazy moment. But
I don't know what's
we're
going
happy
on.
we're happy to have you back.
Yes, very happy to have you back.
We know from just some social media posts that you've shared recently that you went through a breakup, and that there's been some kind of crazy things that have happened during, since, and everything. And there's a story, and it's kind of been your life. So we kind of would just like to give you the floor and have you sort of tell us everything that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, for the past like over a year and a half, I was in a relationship, and I mean, like, big things were moving. I moved to Philadelphia. I moved in with this guy. I'm just going to give him a nickname of A, and we'll keep it at that.
Like Pretty Little Liars.
Right.
And I ended up moving there, and we had amazing times. I think at this point it's like hard for me to even remember those good times, which is like kind of sad, but it's my like truth. I'm like, what the hell was real and what wasn't? But I'm not going to sit here and deny that we didn't have great times together. I mean, that's essentially why we moved in, but things moved really fast.
Where were you before you moved to Philly?
I was in Miami, and I never got rid of my apartment there, kind of as like a safety net.
Yeah.
So I always had it. I just was never there. I completely moved into an apartment in Philadelphia with him, and things started like getting bad. And to be honest, it was more of like I was losing a part of me and like myself. Like I felt like everything I accomplished in my life was like I was losing it, like I feel like I moved to Philly to be on this guy's page, and I was always on his terms, and I like stopped doing so much of my work. I stopped doing so much influencing. I stopped seeing my friends as much. And like, I just felt I was like, who am I these days? Like, I've accomplished so much for myself that made me so happy. And then I was just like losing it all. And I think I had a really tough time. So I vocalized that, and we ended up breaking up in April. And he didn't necessarily want me to post it, and I didn't, out of respect. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to post it, but eventually I would have to. So I think the first instance of, I regret this, but like giving him another shot, I had a call from TMZ like end of April, and they said something along the lines of like, hey, we got wind that your ex was out telling people that he's single and that he took home a girl that night. And I was like, oh God, this is like the last thing you want to hear about someone that you just dated. So I reached out and I said, hey, I got to announce that I'm single. I don't want to be like hearing these things. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
I got to rip the Band-Aid off. And he convinced me to essentially give him another shot after that. And
So you guys got back together pretty much after that.
yes.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a month period, maybe a teeny bit more, but not much, that we were not communicating, no contact, like we were done. And then he heard my perspective, and I kind of told him this is how I felt. I felt like I didn't know who I was. I felt like I lost myself. I felt like I just like wasn't who I ever was before that. And he was like, I hear you. I now understand. And like, give me an opportunity to actually change that. And I was like, okay, fine. But this time, let's please take it slow. Like, we jumped in and immediately moved in together. So that ended up happening. He said there was like one thing. He was like, listen, we'll take things slow. I understand, but under kind of one rule. And I was like, sure. And he was like, we're not hooking up with anyone else. We're focusing on like you and I. And kind of like gave that perception. And I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to go out and do all this crazy stuff. I barely go out.
Right. Did you end up posting that you were single at any point? No.
Never. I was just more under.
Like, I'm like trying to remember. I can't remember if you did or not.
No, I never did. I never did. And I was letting time like kind of pass before I did. And then we started getting back together. And I was just under this, honestly, it was my idea. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to bring the pressure of social media back into this until like things are figured out. So I wasn't posting him as much, but we were definitely dating, like 100% dating. He would ask me questions like, have you told your friends? Have you told your family? Does everyone know around you? And I was like, yeah, like everyone knows. You know, the people that are close to me, everyone knew. And it's not that I was like trying to hide him on socials. It was more so of like, I just didn't want outside noise. So I would post him on my stories like here and there and here and there. Like, I wasn't like hiding it. It was more so of just like, don't focus your entire social media on that. So the whole TMZ thing happened and he denied it. Sent me like video proof of him walking into his building the night that was in question, which again, I didn't even really care because at that time we were broken up. I was like, do what you want. So I let it go and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Then fast forward to recently, I got a message from a burner number. God.
No, you're okay. Don't worry.
I don't even know why I'm crying.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Literally. Oh God.
You're
know I'm crying. I like don't ever really cry either.
Well, it makes sense why you're crying.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in this relationship and you feel like you were manipulated and lied to, and you feel incredibly disoriented from this relationship. So don't blame yourself.
He took a lot away from you.
I'm just like so confused on all of it. I think like the precedent that he would set in our relationship was like very, very like strict. Not strict, but like
Strict how? Like,
he would say things like, never put yourself in a position that would like jeopardize our relationship. And I would be like, yeah, like I don't go out and put myself in bad situations. I barely go out. So it was always like conversations like that to be like, prioritize the relationship, never jeopardize it, like never put yourself in a setting that would jeopardize it. And
meanwhile, he was doing those things.
Well, that's what I eventually found out.
But it's like, it can be so mentally like it fucks with your head so much when you are in a lifestyle, you're crushing it, you're doing so well, and you've built something for yourself, and then the person who is supposed to love you the most and be your biggest fan and support you takes those things and uses them against you.
Yeah, so it was like, so I get this burner and I was like, what is going on? And they're like, if you're still with this guy, he's essentially like highly, highly disrespecting you and cheating on you. And I was like, what the hell? And so I was like, what is this? And there was just like something that I felt this entire summer. And I was like, things weren't adding up really, because he would go to like,
The classic dab. I'm like, sometimes you just need a little dab.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure my makeup's all over the place.
No, you look beautiful.
Okay, I'm fine. But he was like going to, you know, whether it was like Italy, Greece, LA, New York, and I would like, there would be things that weren't adding up to me. Whether it's like he's not responding to me, he's not like texting me at night, or like just random girls following him, and I would ask him about it. And he would make me feel like it was my followers that were following him.
Right.
And I was like, no, like I know who's my follower.
Did he have a private or public Instagram?
He had a private account for a while when we were dating. And then he said something along the lines, or made me feel like it was his PR people that accidentally accepted everyone. And like
He has PR people?
for his company.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, I don't think your PR people are on your Instagram, like, accepting it.
And you're like, these aren't my followers.
No,
And-
I know.
and
They'll say
It's also-
follow back.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah,
Right,
it's also like,
exactly.
I don't, you know, it's like, why do my followers need to be following your private Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
I think when I announced him a while ago that I was dating him, people did try to follow.
Totally.
And fine, but like these new ones, there was something suspicious.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
like, and then like these girls I did like a deep dive. I was like, these girls are matching up with the guys you're going out with. Okay, like something's not right
And
here.
it matches the location, like a
Yeah.
girl in Italy, and you're
Yeah.
in Italy. Like,
But
this isn't my follower.
What he had me believe is that when he went out, he would only say, hi, I'm A, nice to meet you, and that's it. Like he was so strict on our relationship that he was like, it's pointless, you know, to talk to girls. Like I go out and I don't speak to another female. Like that is the perception that I had and that he had me like believe. And to be honest, I thought it was a little weird because I was like, I have guy friends, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of, I was like, oh, okay, like that's how he sees it. Like, okay. Never really understood it, but things just weren't adding up. So then I get the burner count and I was like, I have weird suspicions. Like I have weird suspicions already. This is making it like my antennas go up. And then I find we moved into the apartment together. I moved in everything. I cleaned out every single drawer. I cleaned out everything. I moved everything in the apartment. And then jewelry shows up at the apartment. I'm packing to go back to Miami and I find like women's jewelry. And he was like, oh, it was from a Halloween party that I went to out in LA. I purchased it on Amazon. I said, great, let me see your order.
Yeah.
He goes, the order's not here. And I was like,
oh my
course
god!
it's not.
Convenient.
Of course it's
Right,
not.
of course.
convenient.
It's not loading. The Amazon's
Yeah.
not
So
loading.
weird.
Yeah.
All my other ones are here.
Yeah.
So then the story changes to, oh, it must be old jewelry. And I said, how? I moved every square inch into this damn apartment. How?
Yeah.
Please tell me how.
Like when I
And
moved in here, I cleaned
Right.
everything.
Every drawer,
Yeah.
guys. I'm not kidding. Every single drawer
Right.
I've cleaned.
Naturally moving into an apartment as you would. So like,
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, this doesn't make sense. So my antennas are like open. And I fly back to Miami. I go to an event and there's this influencer. We'll call her B if I have to. I see her in an event and I know she used to have like a fling with him. And I always kind of like avoided her. I was never rude to her. I was never mean to her, but I avoided her. And she has like similar friend groups and I felt bad. I was like, man, like we're in a group talking as a circle and she's like outside the circle. That actually makes me feel bad. I don't give a shit if you had something with the guy that I'm dating.
Yeah.
So I came home that day and I had a conversation with him and I was like, oh, I ran into B. You know, I feel bad. I want to start being like nicer to her. There's no reason. And I could like tell his energy was off when I said that. And I was like, what's going on here? I know she tried to follow him this summer, or she followed him this summer. And I asked him about it and he told me, oh, I just talked to her for 2 seconds. I told her I was dating you and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
did he follow her?
No. And he would like say things to me too, like, you shouldn't worry who's following me. Like, you should worry about who I'm following. And I was like, Come on.
Right. Yeah,
So
please.
he's like planting that,
Yeah.
knowing he's not going to follow the people
Yeah.
he's talking to back.
Correct. And so,
what a wild thing to say to try to get you off guard. Like, what?
yeah. And so then I had a mutual friend put us in contact, and she was like, she sent me all the receipts. She said, Kelley, there were a couple of times I ran into him this summer, and I'm not going to lie, he was very handsy with me. He was telling me that he was single, and he was taking selfies with me. Here's our text messages. He invited me to like a 50-year-old guy's birthday party, sent me a black car to pick me up.
What? She went to the party?
Yeah.
Damn.
She didn't.
And he was just saying like he's single the whole time.
Yeah. I think he was trying to act like a little bit weird, knowing that I probably run into her at a lot of events. So he was like, he would say things to her like, oh, well, I talked to Kelley today. But in reality, we were in communication every single day.
Yeah.
But he would be like, no, I'm single. But like, I talked to her today. So I don't know, like that.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
think that's why she didn't really push on it too much. But she ran into him like another time in the Hamptons, like now in August. So this is a different
Right.
time.
But
And
as in your mind, you guys are together.
100%.
Yeah. You're 100%.
He was.
Yeah.
He would like ask me nonstop, like, "Are you telling your friends? Are you telling your family?" Like, made sure I was going around telling all of
Everybody
my
that
people,
you guys were like
all of
good
my
and
people.
together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was other red flags too, because he was like, "You should post me," and I was like, "Again, I don't have an issue posting you. I'm just not going to make you my entire page." And then so he would be like pretty big on being like, post me. We were with each other for 4th of July in the Hamptons. So I posted him, and then I was like thinking, he's so adamant about me posting, but like he didn't repost me or anything.
Right.
Like why?
Right.
And then I would ask him about it, and he would be like, well, I was like 15 stories down. That's not even like special.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, whatever. Like at the end of the
You
day,
had to be the number one stories expired at
my
a time.
God.
How are you supposed to make sure he's the first slide?
yeah. So it was always just like excuses now that I think
Yeah.
about it. Like I was just so manipulated in my mind. But so he runs into her in August, and he's still very handsy with her, hanging out with her family at her table, all this stuff. And I was like, damn. So she's sending me all the proof, and I go to him and I was like, do you want to be honest here? Like, just be honest with me.
Yeah.
And like not telling him that I had freaking screenshots of everything.
Right.
And what
But you always say, like, you have an opportunity to actually tell me the truth right now, so here it is. You know?
Well, I kept saying, if you want me to have 1 ounce of respect for you, 1 ounce, make it make sense in my mind.
Yeah.
Make all of this make
right.
sense.
Just own up now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And like still, if he owns up, you're not going to really respect him. But in some way, you're going to be like, okay, well, he told me the truth.
yeah.
I think I would have
Like you're still going to be like, fuck you for doing all of that.
Yeah.
Don't respect you for doing any of that. But here's the truth.
Yeah.
100%. And that's happened in like my past relationships too, where like I really haven't held resentment, because I was like, at least you're honest. At least I know like going forward that like you will tell me the truth. Like I think that's just big for me. So that situation happened, and then I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit if I look as crazy as could be right now. I need to know how far deep this goes. So I started reaching out to like mutual girls that honestly, like I didn't even really know that well. And I was like, do you guys know anything about this?
Yeah.
I was like, do you know anything about this? This is kind of the facts that I have. And it's almost like every corner that I looked to, things were coming out. So one of the girls was like, he's been hitting on this girl. And I was like, she gave me the name, and I was like, his ex? I was like, his ex? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what the hell? So then I talked to the ex, and she was like, yeah, he was waiting for me outside of a bathroom, and he was like, we need to talk, we should get drinks, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Like getting handsy again.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I'm thinking, how deep does this go? I just ran into my ex at Fashion Week in New York. He came up to me and he said, do you feel comfortable talking to me? And I was so respectful towards the new relationship I'm in. And I said, no.
Yeah.
And that is it. That night, I got a 20-minute lecture of how disrespectful I was. How disrespectful I was, because I verbalized words.
Yeah.
But in reality, what he's doing is going and like hitting on his ex,
Right.
getting handsy, asking
And
him
what
for
are you
drinks.
supposed to do? Like your ex, like, are you supposed to just run away and say
Right.
no words? Like then you're just like disrespectful kind of like as a person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If like someone comes up to you and you verbalize like, hey, no, I don't feel like this is respectful.
Yeah.
That's the appropriate thing to do. Not
saying
look at
an
them and
actual
run in the other
sending a
direction when you're supposed to
boundary.
just say no words and run away. Then you look like a weirdo. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you can't speak. But yeah, you just set a boundary by being like, hey, I don't find this to be respectful. Like, no, I'm not going to like step aside and have a conversation with you, which is the respectful thing to do. It seems like a lot of it was like projection on you of really everything he was doing. He was so worried you were doing because he was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's I think that's why I'm like so confused by everything, because I'm like, how deep did this go? Like how like confused
how
was-
far back
yeah.
from the beginning of your relationship, because there was a period of time when you guys were together and then broke up and you're really finding out about things just this past summer. But what about the beginning of it all?
So the beginning, it just like the way that I felt, I was like, we were definitely spending more time apart, and I was like, wait, so do I have to be tied at your hip in order for you to respect me? And then like after I posted, you know, that we broke up, I was like, screw it, I'm completely done. I have no idea who this person is, no clue. More things started coming out, and girls were messaging me. I saw him on September 5th. He left a bar with a guy and a group of girls, and I was like, September 5th. I went back to my text messages, and I was like, he was at his friend's house, like brushing his like daughter's hair. And then I started like doing a deeper dive, and I see he sent me a picture at like 10:30, and it was a picture of art, and he was like, new art for the apartment. And I looked at the picture location. I just swiped up, and I was like, did he just send that to me when he was at the bar?
Right.
Like trying to like confuse me to still say that he was at his buddy's house, but in reality, you're out.
Reality's at the bar.
And then like other girls came out and were like, we didn't know. I saw him leaving a bar hand in hand with a girl earlier this summer. And I was like, holy shit, this
It's
goes
always like
deep.
after you post the breakup that the stories come out too, or like the girl's like, oh well, now it's over, so I was afraid to tell you before.
Yeah.
But
And I'm sure
now
there's so
like
much
here's
more.
all
Right,
this
especially if
that
he's
was happening.
going around telling people he's single, so nobody feels like they should come and tell you, but really because he's telling everyone he's single. But you know, you're not posting him too much, because also you probably don't want to like make it like, if you guys are trying to work through things as well, you're not going to be posting him constantly, especially if he's the 15th slide. Then he's going to get mad he's the 15th slide as well. I mean, it seems like this guy is sort of like a serial cheater and also manipulator and projector, just like all of the above towards you. And I feel so sorry, and I feel bad for you, because I feel like it's such a disorienting experience that a lot of people can really relate to. It's like, you're like, who was this person and who was I? Like, you know, on top of not even knowing the person you were with, you also feel like you don't know yourself, because you're like, how did I not see this?
I like literally look back on it and like I can't even remember the good times, because I was like, I think it was all just fake. Like not one part of it was real. Like I don't know how else to like feel, but this has like never happened to me to like this extent. I think that's why I'm like, holy shit. Like this goes deep.
Do you think there was like a love bombing element when you like first started dating?
Of
like
course.
It was,
I took it as like, oh my God, he's so intentional. Like he like knows what he wants. Like I met him a couple years before, and like he was very it kind of looked like he like knew what he wanted and was going after it no matter who was in the way, like that kind of mentality. And I was like, I thought it was kind of attractive, but now I was like, now that I'm hearing
now it's like maybe that was a sign.
I'm like, wait, I think this is going on with every girl. So it's
like, you meant like in pursuing you, like you
yeah,
like the way
it's
he
just
pursued
like
you
that's
thought,
just who he is.
Yeah.
It's like he comes on strong, he comes on like very blunt and very like narrow to be like, I know what I want and I'm gonna go after it. You know, but I thought it was just with me, and I thought I was like special. Well, no, my ass isn't special.
Well, you are special.
Thank you.
He's an idiot, obviously. But I feel like that is a situation that happens often with women, where you're like, oh my God, like he wants me so bad, like he's so assertive, and it's like, oh, well, now he's doing this at the bar with this girl and waiting outside this bathroom and all of these other instances.
He openly, like, when I was like, just tell me the truth, what has been going on, he openly started admitting like some things, but it was like very, very small. He was like, picked up a girl's number in June at the bar when I was like at the bar in Philly. And I was like, okay. He's like, when I was at DC, I got another girl's number, but I didn't go to dinner with her. I went with like other guy bankers. And then she texted me after and said, don't leave. And I was like, you, at this point, you would need to give me a lobotomy to literally believe anything that is coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I think that you went to dinner with this girl and then she was texting you after you left the city. Like, it just goes
also,
so deep.
getting a girl's number, it's not, like, you're not gonna be like, that's okay. Like,
No.
that's grounds for leaving the relationship.
No.
You don't
Completely
get
inappropriate.
a girl's number and then say, oh no, it's okay, I'll stay. What?
Yeah.
Oh, I
No.
didn't text her.
No.
Yeah. Okay, well, why are you asking her
asked
for her
number?
phone
That's
number?
an absolute no. I'm gone.
And
Like,
then he openly told me in June he picked up a girl's number and she was asked. It's always these girls were coming on to him. Okay, one.
Yeah,
And then
I'm sure.
which I know is not necessarily his personality.
Right.
And then it was this girl wanted to get like lunch and coffee the next day, but I never texted her back, and I was like, again, like I can't believe one
So
word.
like now
Why
he's
are
just starting
even-
he's like fielding all these inquiries.
right, and like, oh, how many numbers
Yeah,
are you
right. Like,
collecting?
how many
in
people wanted to
business?
hang out with you?
Yeah, right. And it's also kind of like what it sounds like he was saying to you, where you're like, don't put yourself in situations to be hit on or whatever it is. But it's like,
Nonstop.
how many situations is he putting himself in to get these
Every
numbers,
night.
get
Yeah.
asked to go to lunch and coffee? How are you even getting that far to be asked to go to lunch and coffee?
I completely agree. And I had a conversation with my brothers, and my brothers could be kind of like blunt and honest. They're like, Kel, you're dating a guy who's going out, call it 5, 6, 7 nights a week. And they're like, what the hell do you think he's doing?
Right.
And I was like, you're right. But like, I was just so like manipulated in my head that I was like, no, like he's not that
Right.
person.
And you can't blame
because
your-
I got faulted for
Right.
everything.
You can't blame yourself in a situation like that. Like, people can really make you feel a certain way in your brain that you believe. And
Yeah.
then when you're out of it, you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? But like your brothers said, like, now you're probably looking back like, why did he want to go out 7 nights of the week? Like,
Yeah.
what, like, if he like wants to grab a drink with his friends or whatever, why can't you do that at home? You have to do
Well,
that 7 nights a week. Like,
he
you
would
do it at
always
home,
say
like,
he was going to
work
dinner.
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
work things, dinner with the boys, dinner with the boys, dinner with the boys. So it was every night dinner with the boys, or like dinner with like this.
I'm networking.
Yes,
Right.
Yes,
It's just networking,
yes.
babe.
I just feel so. I guess at the end of the day, like having all of it come out, I just feel so stupid. Like so stupid.
That is the worst feeling. And there is just truly no reason for you to feel stupid about it, because at the end of the day, like, he took complete advantage of like the kind heart that you have.
Right.
And that's like, not, it doesn't make you stupid.
Yeah.
It makes you a kind, loving human being. And he took advantage of that and probably has done it to many before. Like,
Right.
that's just like, can see that and smell it out and knows that that's like the moves he's going to make. It makes my blood boil, because I think there's nothing worse than that person who like has to diminish their partner in order to like build themselves up.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
he, and I think Fran mentioned this earlier, like, he should have been your biggest fan. Like,
Yeah.
Kelley, you have so much going for you. You are so intelligent. Like, you should conquer all of these
Yeah.
things in your life, not try to be like,
Right. Oh my
no,
God, you have this
shouldn't do
this
that.
trip. Like, you should absolutely
should
go. That'd be
go,
so
like-
great for you.
Like, he shouldn't be
Yeah.
making you do like, no, you shouldn't be working on those things. Like, you're with me. And like, and also like, to your point of saying that you feel stupid, it's like, yes, that is such a normal
Yeah.
reaction to blame ourselves for that sort of thing, but it really was just him taking advantage of you. You're not
Yeah.
stupid at all. Like, not even the slightest bit. He's a piece of shit. That's what it is. We can call him names, but do not call yourself names that put you down. And it's probably a reflection of how he treated you and why
Yeah.
you're putting yourself down, because in some ways he made you feel this way about yourself.
Yeah.
But you are none of
It's
those
next
things.
level
You-
lying. It's
yeah.
like so many layers of lying that like you can't even fathom that people make shit up like this, and then you're like, wow, you really like went into detail on that lie.
Yeah.
And because you are such a kind person as well, it's hard to understand that someone would be lying, so you believe them.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh well, why would someone lie about that? well, there are
Right.
bad people out there that lie about
Why would
things,
you be
but you're
sending
not
me
one of them, you
pictures
know?
of a small child's piece of art and
Right.
be at the bar at the same time?
Exactly. It's because
Like,
people are so
crazy.
manipulative like that. But a lot of kind, good-hearted people are going to end up believing people because that's what they would like. They see good. It's like
Yeah.
you can't fault yourself for wanting to see the good in somebody and not automatically believing he's some evil guy.
Yeah. So at this point too, I was like, okay, like one of his other exes reached out to me and she's like, hey, let me know if you want to talk. And at this point, it's crazy, guys, because he had me fully convinced. One, I do know that he hasn't like brought a girl home since he was 18 years old and he's now 35. So again, like he would kind of make me feel guilty that I've had other relationships and be like, would kind of be like, don't you feel great that like there's no other girl that you have to worry about? And great. Yeah, that feels great. But like, again, that's not necessarily truthful. I talked to his other ex and she started calling.
you mentioned multiple exes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I know.
I don't know what
Okay,
he's
just
talking
because they
I don't
didn't
know what
meet
he's
his
talking
family,
about.
like, is
I don't
that
know
what
what
it
he's
is?
talking about. I'm hearing about multiple exes.
Right. I think maybe he considers like not an ex if they didn't need his family.
Yeah,
but
I guess.
they clearly had some sort of relationship with him.
Yeah. So that one's funny. But anyway, so she reaches out to me, or we're talking and everything, and I'm asking her, she's like sending me screenshots of like I love yous and all of this stuff, and I was like, wait, what? Like he was saying I love you and all this stuff. He almost made me believe that like he hasn't really said like I love you to anyone else. I was like, what the hell at this point do I believe?
We love getting out to live events, whether it's a concert, a football game, or a comedy show, and we always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time. Now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. It's that time of the year, folks. She has defrosted. She is coming back. Mariah Carey does her shows around Christmas time, and I feel like they're kind of like you can't miss them. They're so good. You can get the festive holiday spirit. Mariah Carey has a show Sunday at UBS Arena on December 15th. And right now, I saw an amazing Game Time Picks deal for great seats, only $78. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Pick deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. So what are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Mariah Carey tickets now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICKS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
And then there's one thing, which I'm not going to accuse him of, but I will say that I have a suspicion that this could be him. I asked her, I said, have you, when you guys broke up, did you get a bunch of call from burner numbers non-stop? And she goes, yes. I said, okay, because I'm going through the same experience. And I said, you know, when we, it's actually funny, in August when he ran into that girl, I went fucking crazy and I called him 8 million times. He didn't answer. I blocked him. I'm like, screw you. I'm done with this shit. There's sketchy shit going on. Like, I was reciprocating the crazy, which I regret so much because like I'm usually not that person, and it's like I almost turned into this crazy person, like trying to meet him back. And to be honest, I also felt like there was so much hypocrisy in this relationship that instead of like when I came back into it, instead of just being like, no, I'm gonna be myself, I almost was like, fine, like you want to see how it feels, and I almost started going crazy and doing it back.
Yeah.
So I asked her about the burner numbers. Back in August, when I like blocked him on everything, he started calling me, or he couldn't call me, and I kept getting calls from like a burner number. And finally I answered and I was like, hello, and it's him. He's like, hey, this is my work number, save it. And I was like, okay, cool. We talked and he was like, but this phone is very expensive. Can you please call me on my regular number, unblock me and call me? And I said, fine. And then I was thinking, I go, he doesn't have a work phone. What do you mean your work number? How are you getting a work number?
Right.
And so I literally have it saved in my phone as his work number. But then I'm thinking back and I'm like, he doesn't have a work number. So then I get like suspicious and I'm like, oh my God, is this why I keep getting so many random phone calls at 2 a.m. and all throughout the day? Like, and the numbers would change, by the way. So then I just started essentially blocking them. But I got this one and it said, I think he knew that I was going out and asking people. Like, I knew these people that I was asking. I went like haywire, and I was like, I will call on everyone in my phone book, and I don't give a shit at this point. So I think word got around to him. Oh, she's digging, and so I got a text message. I don't know. Again, I'm not accusing this of him, but it's just weird how this is playing out. That it said, "Hey girl, I have some tea on your ex A." And I didn't respond. And I was like, is he trying to like bait me? Like, what the hell is going on here? So I didn't respond. Block that burner number. So he texts me on Sunday. Like, this hasn't stopped. He has texted me on Sunday, and I could read it to you.
This past Sunday.
Yeah. It's today.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. And this one says, now I'm getting the accusations that I am the one cheating. He sends me a screenshot that he supposedly got from a burner number. Okay.
Right.
My opinion is that he is texting himself.
Totally.
It seems like it.
Totally.
Okay. What up, stud? Got your number through a mutual friend. I see Kelley is newly single, but I never knew she was in a relationship. I've been hitting it here in Miami since August. My bad.
Let me tell you also that it's like
What?
objectively a hilariously written text message.
Correct. Yeah.
Where it's like you're not.
What up,
like
stud?
some other dude in Miami isn't texting your ex being like, what up, stud?
No,
like,
what? That is
like, that's like an element to his ego where he texted himself and called himself a stud.
so
like,
true.
he
was like,
oh, like
of course
a
he would call me-
stranger would totally call me a stud, so I'll call myself stud.
right. That is so absurd. That's such a
Not
level
even like,
of,
hey man, you know?
Yeah, just like a hey bro.
Yeah.
Like he had to use stud.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yep.
insane. And obviously a text message he sent himself.
Yeah. And then
I hope you're just ignoring all his messages at this
I
point.
ignore everything. I ignore everything. And at this point, there has been like zero accountability taken on his end, which shocks me. At this point, just take accountability and be like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Like, end of story.
Yeah.
There has really been none of that. After I broke up with him, a lot of the times when I would try to break up, I tried to break up with him several times this summer because I knew sketchy shit was going on. And he would be like, no, you're an avoidant. We need to communicate about this. We can get through this. And like, it would kind of like manipulate me back into it. But I knew sketchy shit was going on and I would try to get out. And then he would like convince me out of it. And like, I feel like I'm weak on, like, I have to take accountability on that. But so then I was like, listen, I'm done. He like accepted the breakup. And then the next day he's calling me. I said, unless you want to admit to everything and come clean, there is no reason to be calling me. No reason. And he goes, no, I have to tell you something. Okay, fine. So I answered the phone. I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, I just hate the way you perceive me. I hate the way that you view me. And I was like, is that all he cares about? He literally does not care about, like, he may have said, I'm sorry, but like at the end of the day, the only thing he really cared was the way I was perceiving him, how everyone else perceives him. And I was like, this is wild to me.
Yeah.
It got so bad. And I was like, I was screaming. I was like, are you effing kidding me? You just called me to tell me the only thing you give a shit about is the way that I perceive you. You don't want me to view you this way?
You did this to yourself.
Yeah.
I view you this way because this is you.
Yeah. And so then after he does that, he knows I'm ignoring him. I'm not calling him, whatever. He calls two of my brothers. Like, it's just not stopping. He calls two of my brothers and he's like, you know, I feel bad for my sister and my mom. And by the way, I love his family. So this story goes, he goes, I feel bad. They're so sensitive. They're getting so much hate. And my brother goes, my brother was dating like a very famous influencer. So he understands how this world works. And he goes, just out of curiosity, what are they getting? Maybe 1 or 2 messages, if that. And he was like,
no one.
So instead of,
who's reaching out to his family?
I don't know. But anyways, if that is
Honestly,
going on, please don't reach out to his family.
The internet is wild. Like, they really do reach out to
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. But there was one article on Us Weekly. This wasn't blown up. This wasn't something big. And my brother's like, I don't understand. Anyways, his family's great, amazing. Please don't message his family. This is more of between him and I. But he was trying to like almost, I feel like, manipulate the situation, even with my brothers. Instead of taking accountability, he's trying to make my brothers feel bad, to say, to have your sister stop talking. I saw her post something on TikTok to say, you know, this guy's not taking accountability, she might speak out more. So he calls my brothers, trying to, in my eyes, manipulate them to feel bad for his sister and his mom, and say like they're so sensitive. And then that didn't work with my brothers.
Right, for like, and then he thinks like your brothers will go to you and be like, oh, maybe you
Like,
just
Kel,
let
stop.
it die, you
Yeah.
know? Like it's,
Not how my family works. My brothers are like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
So then he tries with that. Then he goes on to, well, you know, my business. And my brother was like, okay, that's more concerning, and I could definitely understand that.
Right.
Like, and he was like, but at the end of the day, like, you know what you sign up for when you date a girl like this, who's like influencing for her. That's her job. And he was like, honestly, I never really thought about that. And it's like, I don't,
sorry, like that is what your job is, and you're sharing your life and your personal life, and it's always just crazy to me too. Like, I don't know, men somehow try and separate like their relationships and business and all these things. It's like, well, maybe don't act like a dickhead, and then you're like, like, and your job won't get pulled into it. I don't know. Like, that's like now you're gonna cry about like your, oh, you know, it's gonna affect my business. Well, it's like, okay, maybe think about that beforehand.
Right. You probably should have thought about the way you carry yourself as a person in all aspects of life, rather than just your business. Like, who you are as a person is going to affect your work.
But I'm not gonna lie, he's very good at putting on like a facade.
Yeah.
Very good.
Clearly
very
so.
good. And honestly, I think like right now, I'm like, I really don't even think he gives a shit that he hurt me in any degree by our phone calls. I really don't think he cares. I think the only thing he cares is he doesn't have control and how people are going to see him.
He's worried that if you talk and you do this, that like people are going to look at him differently, and how it's going to affect that.
I think
like
that's the only
it.
thing in his life is maintaining control, and the way people perceive him is the only thing he cares about. I don't think he gives two shits. I think he'll go around and be like, we weren't dating. Like, he'll make up every excuse in the book to like try to say that
she moved in, but what's no big deal.
Yeah.
No, it is so wild though, because it's like, how does someone who cares so much about what people think about them conduct themselves in such a shitty way, right? It's like, if you care so much about what people think of you, then you should probably carry yourself in a way that people are going to think about you in a good light. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean?
You know what hurts my feelings the most is I feel like this was so prevalent that a lot of people around me, like even some mutual friends and like people that I know, maybe like more his friends or whatever, but like I feel like a lot of people knew this was going on. And like, I had to find out from a total stranger that doesn't know me. Like, no one had my back. No one. Like a burner account. A burner account. And these random girls that I don't even really know.
Right.
And that hurts too, because it's like, you always think when you immerse your lives together, you know each other's friends, you're all hanging out, so it's always just like a gut punch when you're like, oh, like all of your buddies know you act like this, and they just let it happen, and nobody says anything, and I'm the one that gets hurt from it.
Right. So, did any of your friends know what was going on that didn't tell you?
No, I mean, we have like mutual ones.
Yeah, just like more like the ones that were involved in his life.
Yeah, but like, no, like my best friends that would have my back. No, I mean, I asked them after, I was like, are you guys shocked? Because I would always go to them and I was like, there's zero possibility that this guy would ever cheat. Like, that's genuinely how I felt. That's what I would say. I was like, go live your life. Like, I know you wouldn't do that. And I don't think it was going on for maybe a whole full year because I was by his side. Right. You know, but I don't know. It's wild. Like, it's hard. I feel like my brain is like scrambled because I'm like, I can't conceptualize like what was real, what was fake. Like, I think everything was fake. Like, I can't sit here and like even compute being like, what the hell did I just go through? Right. Yeah. You know, like everything is just so confusing.
It's so hard. Yeah. It is so hard because it makes you question everything. Yeah. Right. 100%. It does make you question everything. And there's no like, he's not gonna... If he's not going to take any accountability, it's just such a hard thing, because you kind of have to like move on and know, you know, I may never get the full story.
Right. And what's crazier to me too is like, honestly, I'm not someone that ever goes out. Like, I go out maybe like once or twice a month, or like events like Fashion Week stuff. but I really don't go out. And like one night I was just like, I just want to go out with my friends. I went with like 2 married couples that have been together for 12 years, 2 people that he mutually knows and is friends with, one of my girlfriends who is single, and 2 brothers that I've known for years that are nice guys, whatever, but like nothing to be threatened about. So I went to this dinner, and I was, again, the one that got the lecture to be like, you're going to a sponsored dinner. And I was like, a sponsored dinner? Like, what are you talking about? But he's going out and literally every night picking up rounds and rounds and rounds of drinks for like all these girls' tables. Like, just none of it, like literally none of it makes sense to me.
It's just
I was so
complete
fooled.
opposites.
Yeah, it really
complete opposite.
Right, it really
situation.
feels like that, and I feel so sorry that you went through that and that you feel so disoriented from this experience. But I hope that you take the time just for yourself now, because it feels like he took control of you throughout this whole relationship in this 1.5 or 2 years, however long. So it's like you should take the time for yourself to do the things that you always wanted to do that he kind of like stopped you from doing at
To
this
be
point.
honest, that's like the main reason why I did this podcast, is because I almost felt like, again, whether it was intentional or not, I almost felt like I was like silenced. Like I was like, even till this day, he's calling my brothers to tell me to stop talking. Like he's trying to like now say that I'm the one cheating, like all this stuff. Like I almost felt like I was being silenced for the past 1.5 And like I got to a point where I was like, fuck this. I'm doing this for myself. I'm going to go speak. Like, this is about me. There's no way you're stopping me. If you want to throw whatever the hell you're going to throw at me, go ahead.
Yeah,
like at this point, I don't care.
Taking the power back
Yeah.
in yourself
Totally.
and being like, fuck you, I'm doing what I want to do now, and you cannot control that.
Yeah.
Because he is going to now spiral because he's losing all of that control.
Yeah.
But it just shows the kind of guy that he is, really.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's tough. How do you like? It's a tough question, but because it's still obviously actively going on. But how are you kind of feeling now that you are separated from it a little bit? Like, I know it is so disorienting and confusing, but do you feel like you are kind of getting yourself back a little bit?
Not really, because I haven't had like time to even do
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's still so new,
It's still like so fresh for me that I haven't. I know I will, and
Yeah.
I know I'll be like fine at the end of the day. But yeah, I just know that I need to like focus on myself, like get myself back to like a place where I was happy, hang out with my friends, do things that I love.
Right.
And that's like the only thing I can do at this point. You know, like what else do I do? Like, I don't know.
Well, it's great to have like that. You know, you have a great friend support system.
Mm-hmm.
You have a great family support system.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always a time like you lean on them and they'll support you and
Yeah.
be there for you, and like you'll get yourself back. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you've built a great career for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's time to just take that.
I was gonna say, immerse
run
yourself
with
in your
it.
job, fucking crush it, get
Right.
some deals, go on some trips.
Yeah. Like you're going to,
you know, put yourself out there.
yeah, you're only going to end up on the better side of this.
Yeah.
And for him, he's just not. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't keep up that kind of lifestyle with being that kind of person, in my opinion.
There's definitely like a feeling of relief that I feel, even though it's like still so heartbreaking. There's definitely like a feeling of relief where I like almost feel like kind of free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've started
But
to
you
feel
are
that a
free.
little bit. I know.
I know it's hard to see right now because you did love this person.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like mourning the
Yeah.
loss of this person that didn't even really exist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most confusing part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what?
I know.
What?
It is, and it will be hard and stick with you for a while, but you will.
You know what's
will
crazy?
Get out of it.
Like both of you guys just got married, right?
I just got married.
I'm
She's in
getting married in
April.
April.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're in April. So I remember going to like other influencer parties with my girlfriends that are married, and like I guess at this point, like I'm not married. Like I always used to try to convince myself. I think one thing I would use is like it takes a lot in relationships, and like you have to put in a lot of effort and all of this stuff. So I like would go around and ask my girlfriends. I was like, how do you know? Like, how do you know you're with the right person? Like, I know a marriage, people say it takes a lot, but like I guess I haven't been at that point in my life where I know what too much is.
Right,
you know,
right,
like
right.
it takes a lot, but like I just almost convinced myself to be like, well, relationships are hard. It takes a lot.
Yeah, I would almost say
it's
the
opposite.
I would say
I
the
know,
opposite
it's-
of
yeah,
that.
I was
Like
gonna
it
say
should
the
be
same. It should be
easy.
easy.
Like you shouldn't be feeling like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Or giving yourself a lot. Like I feel like I hear that expression a lot where people are like, you know, I felt like you know, relationships are about giving up things and stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
for me. and Fran, like
Yeah.
it's like the opposite of that. Like, oh, this is so easy to be with you,
Okay.
you know?
Well, those weren't the conversations we would have. It was the opposite.
No, it's
Yeah,
tough
I mean-
when you're having like when you're not. Well, when one person is sacrificing a lot of their life and
Right.
the other person isn't doing anything, then yeah, like for him, it's like, oh well, you know, you're gonna move and you're gonna be here and you're not like really going to be, you know, you're here in your career, but like I don't really want you going up. I kind of want you staying where you are. You know,
Right.
it's like
You know what's crazy? So the influencer girl that I reached out to, her and I started speaking, and I was like, I just don't understand why this kind of personality, like to me, we would kind of have fights about it. I was like, you need a girl that you fully support and that she's at home doing whatever, you know? But he keeps going for these like strong-willed girls that like have things going for themselves.
Yeah.
I still can't conceptualize why that is.
I'm no therapist, but it is it's such a power thing to me. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's almost enticing for someone like that to, one, they want to be able to say they can get that strong-willed, independent, successful woman
Yeah.
because they, you know, he's like, look at how great she is. I'm going for her and I can prove that I can get her. But then he doesn't want her to stay that way once he gets her.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
such a good point.
exactly how I felt.
Yeah. And I feel
Yeah.
like going back to the question where you said you asked like your friends who are married or like, you know, us, it's like what I've noticed in my relationship now is that like my life has only improved greatly. Like my career, like I feel like I've never been more successful and better and have only been thriving since this relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like not just because of the relationship, but like because how I feel about myself. And I feel like in the right relationship, people will you'll feel that way. Like you won't feel like how he's making how he made you feel like turning down things or turning down opportunities for yourself. Like he'll make you feel like, oh my God, go get that. Like he sees you as someone who deserves all those things because he sees all those qualities in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he should only be like propping you up.
Well, that makes me excited because I felt the complete opposite. It was almost like everything I had going for. I remember when we were breaking up, he goes, "Do you think we would have worked out if we met when we were younger?" And I said, No. And he goes, "Well, I do, you know, before you had like your law stuff going and the Bachelor stuff going." I was like, "Well, wait,
What?
so you're saying you think
So like
we
when
would
I like
get stripped of
everything that's
everything?"
made me me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just need to hold on to those things, and you've worked so hard for all of it. It's like, don't let that go just because of a guy who's insecure who wants to be like the powerful guy. It's like,
I always felt
no.
like I had to be standing behind him. Like I could, he like didn't, I felt like he didn't want me to shine. Like he wanted me to be placed behind him.
No, a guy who's secure in himself is gonna want to be like, yeah, this is my fucking girl. Like,
I thought-
she's awesome.
I definitely felt like there was insecurity, but I was like, oh, once he gets comfortable and like sees who I am and sees how like this business stuff is run, like he'll be cool with it. And to be honest, I will give him credit. He did like loosen up a teeny bit on that, and I was like, oh, okay, like as we just keep going, like
Yeah.
he'll get
Feel
more
like he'll get
comfortable.
better.
You
Yeah.
don't have to give him credit for that because it doesn't seem like he
No.
really did much there.
Yeah. No,
he shouldn't be given credit for doing that. It's like that should just be how you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like giving guys credit for being like, I'll give him it's like, no, like that's just being like a normal, respectful person, you know?
You guys can tell my brain's still
No, I-
No,
Yes,
and you shouldn't blame
100%.
yourself at
Yeah.
all. Like it's
It
sucks. It's so unfortunate that like people. I always am just like more of like a psychological thing. I'm like, how do people end
Same.
up like this? Like that? Don't you become interested in like where did you?
Right.
What happened?
What happens?
Like where? Like I'm so
When
interested.
did that switch flip?
Right.
You
It's like
wanna know-
such an interesting thing to like because there are reasonings behind it, right? But
I
like,
listen to those books like all the time, and I always like to know. When I was in law school, I took a genetics in the law class because I always like to know like why are you the way you are, you know? And it's actually so interesting to hear those things. I mean, a lot of it's childhood stuff.
Yeah.
right. And it's like even just separating you from this situation. Like, aren't you
Yeah.
kind of like, what is up? Like, I need to know what happened here.
Right. Totally. It
Yeah.
does.
But
it
you know
does
what?
make
When
you
I
think
got
about it.
introduced to him through mutual friends, I like noticed some things, and they would just tell me he's very old school. He's very old school, and then I started realizing, and I was like, I don't think this is old school mentality. I think it's a sense of control. Like, that's it. And I should have noticed the first red flag was someone asked me, our mutual friend, we were in Italy, and she goes, Kelley, if you ever gotten the opportunity with Dancing with the Stars, would you do it? And I was like, absolutely. Like, why wouldn't I? That sounds so cool. And they asked him.
Oh my God, he sounds like he would hate Dancing with the Stars.
Okay. So she asked him, she was like, what do you feel about that? And I remember he looked at me and he was like, enough with this fame bullshit. You got to start focusing on being a mother and a wife.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
And again,
I just got chills.
Oh my God.
I
I would just like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine.
I just remember thinking like, oh, it's just insecurity. Like, once he'll get used to it, Like, it's fine.
What did you say to him in that moment?
Honestly, nothing. I just kind of like submit to it. Because it was like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
It was more so of...
Well, you're also afraid it's going to be a bigger fight.
Right,
Like,
of course.
Because
Yeah.
you know he's going to yell, like, you know how he feels. So in that moment, it's like you're afraid to be like, well, wait, like, I would want to do it. And then it's just, you know.
Right, then it's a bigger
Then it's a
fight.
big
Yeah.
fight.
And your
then
friends are there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that,
I know.
Oh God, he sounds awful.
Well, you know what? I hope Dance with the Stars comes calling now.
Honestly, I hope they're like, oh my God, we need
Yeah.
Kelley on Dancing with the Stars.
Yep. I agree.
And then she could focus on becoming a mother and a wife.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man.
Oh my God.
Kelley, I think there are just so many great things ahead for you. I think there's a guy out there that is going to like prop you up
Right.
and tell you how amazing you are every single day.
I appreciate
and it's coming for you.
Absolutely.
You guys want to
100%.
know what's crazy is I'm just like I'm just like so scarred from men right now. I was in Miami and I ran down the street. I was like in kind of pajamas and this guy starts like legit chasing me on the street. And I was just completely ruthless. He was like, hey, I want to talk to you. And I literally looked at him and I was like, do you just run after any girl on the street? Like, what are you doing?
Honestly, good for you.
Honestly,
though.
granted,
Like,
fair. I
if a
would be
guy's-
afraid just
yeah.
in general of someone running
Right.
after me on the street. Like
A guy running after you in the streets, like, how often do you do this? How do you have the balls to just run up to someone on the
Yeah,
street?
yeah.
You got your reps in.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
But no, I mean,
No,
at this
there-
point, like,
yeah.
don't even, there's no reason to even focus on
No.
a man or getting a boyfriend or anything of that sort.
Oh.
It's like, it's going to find you at the right time.
Totally. Have
It's
fun,
like
go
time to
out,
just
flirt, enjoy life.
Focus on yourself and like take those moments back for you that you set aside while you were with him.
Yeah.
And
No,
all
I
of the
agree.
right things will fall into place. And we think you're awesome. We
Yeah.
really do. And we appreciate that you trusted telling us this story. And I think a lot of people listening, a lot of our listeners will be able to, unfortunately, relate to this kind of situation. It is very unfortunate that it is a relatable situation in itself. But you just do you and don't worry about this guy. Block the number, ignore all the calls. He'll probably start calling after this podcast comes out. But that's unfortunately, he paved the way for himself. You know?
Totally.
I agree. Thank you guys
Thanks,
for having
Kelley.
me.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
appreciate
Kelley.
it. I do.
Rumhaven is absolutely delicious, and that's how we make our little fall cocktail. Rumhaven is made with real coconut water and no artificial flavors or preservatives for clean and refreshing taste. You cannot beat the taste of real coconut water. It's delicious, it's clean, it's refreshing, and Rumhaven believes that Mother Nature does it best. That's why Rumhaven is crafted with premium Caribbean rum and real coconut water. Enjoy Rumhaven straight over ice with a splash of club soda, in your favorite juice, or in the Chicks in the Office Little Fall Cocktail. Come on Tuesday to Boston, the Clock Tavern, and we'll be having plenty of Little Fall cocktails to go around. They're so delicious. And to get the recipe for that Little Fall cocktail, you can find out where to pick up a bottle as well on rumhaven.com/chicksintheoffice. You get the recipe. You can also find out where to pick up a bottle of delicious Rumhaven and whether or not you can catch us on the road this fall, because now we're wrapping up. Only one more show left. You can head to rumhaven.com/chicksintheoffice to get the recipe for, like I said, the Little Fall cocktail and find out where to pick up yourself a delicious bottle of Rumhaven. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another game of Beat Ria and Fran. This is game number 152, and we are joined by Megan and Jenna. They are from Cincinnati. Beautiful design behind them that Noah pointed out, aesthetically pleasing. And thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited.
Get sneaking in right before the holiday. It's 15 questions. If you get the question right, you get the point. If you get it wrong, the other team can steal the point. Whoever has the most points at the end wins. To determine who goes first, Noah's going to give us a movie. We're going to guess the Rotten Tomatoes critic score of that movie. Whoever is closest will get to go first, and we will alternate between teams for guesses. Everyone gets their own individual guess. Noah, what is today's movie?
A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Did we have the Charlie Brown movie recently?
What?
It's a
At
great pump-
we had the
The
Halloween
pumpkin.
one.
It's a
Yeah.
great pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Okay, one of you goes first.
I want to say it's like I think it's like 64.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Okay, 64.
Okay, I'm gonna go 86.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go 72 feels good.
I can't even imagine Charlie Brown being critiqued, you know?
Mhm.
It's Charlie Brown, you know?
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 52.
64 is the closest. 67.
Oh, close. Very close.
Question number 1 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Morgan and Noah from Kansas City.
Collab question with you?
No, remember, I made that joke at one of the live shows. I was like,
yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're not from Kansas City. Okay. In the movie School of Rock, the band misses the audition for Battle of the Bands, but they play anyway. How does the band get on the set list?
Seems pretty wrong. I mean, really, so
Did they just did they just go on stage?
I thought the girl literally just wrote their name and just ran on.
Let's go with that.
They just inserted themselves.
Yeah. They wrote their own name down.
They rushed the stage.
Incorrect. To reinforce.
They all say they're sick and dying
Oh,
children.
yes.
And that this is they're all coughing.
Their dying wish.
They're coming from the hospital. It's for the kids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Yes, final
Correct.
answer.
Mhm.
What did he say? They have stick to the maniosis. or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
1-0. Ria and Fran. And this question's to them. There is no shout out here. This was gonna be a final question at the live shows, which is always music related, and then I scrapped it, but we're doing
Oh, this
it
is
now.
a you.
Yeah.
Wow, this is
A Noah original.
This is a Noah from New York question.
Yeah. Fill in the missing Ariana Grande lyrics from the song Bang Bang. She might have let you hold her hand in blank, but I'ma show you how to blank.
She might have let you.
Oh, yeah.
She might have let you hold your hand at school.
But I'm gonna show you how to graduate.
Yeah.
And at school, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
School and graduate are the missing words.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice.
Wow, that's
Play
gonna
the
be
song.
wow. My first lyric. You know what? Although in my head, the word that first came to me was gravitate, but then I was like, that doesn't make any
right.
sense.
Graduate school. Mm-hmm.
All right, 2-0. Ria and Fran. Question number 3 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Kelley from Atlanta, Marita from Nashville. Who was picked last in the Friends Thanksgiving football game out of all the Friends?
Rachel. Final answer.
Correct.
Go for it.
There were actually a lot of Friends Thanksgiving questions sent in. I didn't realize
it's a reoccurring episode
Yeah.
each
Oh,
season.
so they have how many?
There's so many
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's a
Thanksgiving
lot of-
episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 2-1. Ria and Fran. This question's to them. Shout out Lauren and Lindsay from Bakersfield, California. What year were all of these albums released? Blonde by Frank Ocean, Anti by Rihanna, Lemonade by Beyonce.
2015.
15?
You think it's 2016?
I don't know. When was Frank Ocean? I just feel like everyone's like Rihanna's last album was 2016. What was it? Rihanna's last album was 2015.
I don't know.
15.
You
I
have
don't
me
know.
confused now.
What was the last album? And
Lemonade. Yeah.
Ooh.
Lemonade feels
5
more like
seconds.
2016.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let's do 2016.
2016, final answer.
Correct.
Nice. The first two had me mixed up.
Yeah. I just feel like everybody's one critique is they're like, oh, Rihanna hasn't put out music since 2016.
It is crazy that Rihanna and Frank Ocean have both.
Yeah, right. It's
been
both of them.
Yeah.
8 years. Okay. 3-1, Ria and Fran. Question number 5 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Mackenzie from Rochester, New Hampshire. Whose birthday are they celebrating in the first episode of Sex and the City?
The sort of city.
I think it can't be Carrie. That's too obvious. Or is it?
mean, she's like the main girl.
I feel like, what's the other one's name? Charlotte,
15
Miranda.
Damn.
Let's go. Do you want to go, Carrie?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna go with Carrie.
Incorrect
Finally.
to Ria Fran.
God, I just watched this recently too.
Is it-
And is it Miranda?
I
No.
like my brain.
Charlotte?
My brain keeps saying Miranda, but I don't. There's
Yeah.
no reason why.
Right.
Could it be Samantha?
Maybe it's Samantha.
Because they're like
15
she wants
seconds.
to ignore like how old she's
Yeah.
getting. You know. Let's do Samantha.
Yeah.
All right, Samantha.
Incorrect. Miranda.
Oh, we should have trusted
Why
our
did
guts.
we do that?
We both said
Yeah,
Miranda.
we did. We both said
We
Miranda.
both said we both think it's
and then
Miranda.
and then we talked
We
ourselves.
said we both think it's Miranda, and then we said Samantha.
And then we talked ourselves out of thinking it was
Yep.
Miranda for no
Damn.
reason.
We both knew it was Miranda.
Okay.
God damn it, Miranda.
3-1 Ria and Fran. This is to them. Shout out Grace, Ava, and Sophie.
Wow, triple,
Oh.
From
triple.
Philly.
A lot of
They
heads
say
on
go
this one.
Birds.
Yeah.
In what year did Taylor Swift announce that she was releasing Taylor's versions of her albums?
Ooh. 20 pre-COVID? Yeah. 2018, 19? 18?
I feel like it's 2019 or 2020.
10 seconds.
Let's go 19 then.
5 seconds.
All right, we'll go 2019.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice.
August 2019. 4-1 Ria and Fran.
No, I wouldn't know that. Never.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Question number 7 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Charity from Troutman, North Carolina. In the Vampire Diaries, what is the term that vampires use to mind control humans?
Literally
I've never seen
watched this
Vampire
last year.
Diaries.
I want to say it's compulsion.
Okay. I've never
I'm gonna go with compulsion. Final answer.
Correct.
Yep.
Nice.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. 4-2.
I'm due for a Vampire Diaries rewatch.
I was just thinking the same.
Perfect
I was
protocol.
just thinking the same.
Right,
thing.
like dark winter.
Yep.
Okay, 4-2 Ria and Fran. Question number 8 to Ria and Fran. Shout out Alyssa from Chalfont, Pennsylvania. And she says go Birds as well. What's the name of Prince Harry's memoir?
Spare.
Okay, what she said. Spare.
Right?
I
read
I
it.
don't know. You read
Spare. Final answer.
Correct.
it. Nice. Spare.
He's the spare.
All right, 5-2 Ria and Fran. And this is question number 9 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Amanda from Scranton. And she also says go Birds. My
Hell
God.
yeah.
My
So many
gosh.
freaking
My
Eagles
God,
fans.
they're everywhere.
All right, on Pilot Pete's season of The Bachelor, we got Champagne Gate, where one contestant claimed another popped her bottle of special champagne. Which contestant brought the bottle and who did she claim popped it?
Hannah Ann popped it. The blonde girl. What's her name? That's who it was supposed to be for. Is it Victoria? Was her name Victoria too?
Or was it? It wasn't Lindsay.
15 seconds.
I think
Because there was like the brunette.
Hannah Ann popped it. Victoria
had
brought
in her
it.
face.
Incorrect. to Ria and Fran.
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
of
of the Trent thing. Yeah.
Lindsay.
So Kelsey brought it. No?
Yeah.
And Hannah Ann brought
yeah.
it.
Popped it. Yeah.
Okay, Hannah Ann popped it. Kelsey brought it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. Holiday party fails can turn into a great story that ends with a toast over Coors Light. Getting snowed in can turn into the ultimate movie marathon. It doesn't matter if the holidays don't go as planned when you choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. When you embrace a chill mindset this holiday, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, as crisp and refreshing as the Rockies. This is the time. Thanksgiving is here. There's always going to be a Thanksgiving mishap. There's always going to be something burned, somebody forgot to bring the dessert, whatever it is. Just remember, you can choose chill. You can crack open a Coors Light. Make sure you have the Coors Light stocked in the fridge. Choose chill this holiday season and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/chicks or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. And as always, celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
6-2, Ria and Fran. And this is question number 10 to them. I'm going to play a movie clip, and you tell me what movie it's from.
What is he, like 20 years younger than you?
16.
Oh, pardon me.
Okay, Zara, I know that this isn't easy and it hurts you, but this is, I mean, remember when you got your
This is
eyebrow
us?
pierced?
This is us.
And I begged you not to do that, and you did it anyway, and it was terrible.
Nicole
It was
Kidman.
exciting, and I
Yeah,
said
it's
to you,
the-
why did you do it? And you said, well, it made sense at the time when the guy was putting it in.
What is it?
This is my eyebrow piercing, Zara.
It's the Nicole Kidman, Joey King, Zac Efron movie.
Family
What was
Affair.
that called? Family
Family
Affair?
Affair.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Family Affair.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Final answer.
Nice.
I remember because I thought Joey King's character being named Zara was like kind of funny.
Yeah.
Okay, 7-2, Ria and Fran. Question number 11 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Alyssa from Chalfont again. She says go Birds again. What name did Tyra Banks accidentally call Landon Barker on Dancing with the Stars?
Oh shit.
And she was like, it's just live TV. It's live TV.
Brandon. She called him Brandon. Final answer.
Incorrect.
Oh, you were. I felt
Sorry,
sorry. I
Fran.
felt good.
You were so convinced that I thought I was wrong.
remember.
She called
I don't
him.
remember. Shit.
Hold on.
I can't remember.
15 seconds. Five seconds.
I don't know. I don't know, and I want to know. So
Yeah.
what is it?
Logan.
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 That's
yep,
funny.
yep.
Okay.
Logan.
7-2 still, Ria and Fran. This question is to them. Shout out Monica from Vancouver. In Wizards of Waverly Place, what did they do to Max's character while Jake T. Austin had to temporarily leave the show?
What did they have to do to the character? Did he like? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd they send him? Camp? School? When did Jake T. Austin had to leave? When did he
I would
leave
say
the
they
show?
send him to camp.
15 seconds.
I don't know if that's the right answer. I'm just guessing
That's
here.
a guess. We're gonna go with camp.
Incorrect.
So they turn him into Maxine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they turn him into Maxine. The little Madison Bailey or whatever her name is came. The little girl that's in everything.
Correct.
They turned her into a little girl.
Yep.
Actually,
Wow.
Bailey Madison, but you had it back.
Yeah.
Madison Bailey's the Outer Banks girl.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Question number 13, and this is to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Haley from London, Ontario. In what Sabrina Carpenter music video does Sabrina play her own love interest?
Nonsense.
Yep.
Final answer.
Correct.
Damn.
Well,
Locked
come back
in.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Oh, wait. There's not enough questions for you to come back.
Oh shit.
All right. Question number 14 to Ria and Fran. Shout out Vivian from Houston. Finish the lyrics from the first verse of Kim Possible theme song. Doesn't matter where or when there's trouble. If you just call my name, Kim Possible. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
You just read the whole. Where's the missing piece?
Call me, beat me, if you wanna reach me. It doesn't matter when, doesn't matter when. I will be there for you till the very end. In danger or trouble, I'm there on the double. Just know that you always can call Kim Possible. Whatever that was.
I mean, that's the whole song, so we gotta.
whatever that was.
Incorrect.
Okay.
What?
I think it's if you need to page me, that's okay.
If you need yeah.
If you need to page me, that's okay.
Correct.
What part of the song are we? What
Damn.
part of the song are we
When
missing?
you said it, I was like,
I
oh
think
yeah.
that said the question was first verse, so I wonder if there's like a shortened version or something.
Oh,
I don't know. 7-5.
damn.
Okay, question number 15 to Megan and Jenna. Shout out Amy from Atlanta. Who is the actor who plays John Ralphio in Mona Lisa Saperstein's dad in Parks and Rec?
Who's that?
That's not Rob Lowe. He's the only person I know from that show.
It's not Rob Lowe. See the names. I couldn't be bothered knowing the actors.
What does he look like?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, perfect. It's a great question.
Pass.
Ria Fran.
I don't remember who plays her dad.
Yeah, do I?
I'm picturing like the Fonz, but like I don't think it's the Fonz.
Just guess.
I don't even know.
What's his name?
I have no idea.
Why am I spacing on what his name is?
10 seconds.
What's his real name?
I don't know. I don't know.
3.
All right,
Oh,
tell it
God,
to
the
us.
Fonz.
Henry Winkler.
Oh shit! That is him.
Damn.
It is him, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, have a point.
Henry. I forgot.
Half a
Henry
point there.
Winkler. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
final
man.
score 7-5.
You guys almost came back with that one, though. That was a close
That was
game.
kinda crazy.
They're at the end. But thank you guys so much for playing. And you still get merch. So just send Noah your address and sizes. We'll get some merch sent to you guys. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thank
having
you
me.
guys.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hi.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Remember, no ghosts from your past tonight. All right, have an amazing weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Love you.